people in this case would actually stop from the effect and just take a break, because that's a really powerful moment. This is where I would argue a lot of magicians would stop in this type of effect, per se. But let's say I wanted to actually take it further, which makes it a little bit more fun. So for this case, I actually will, dare I say, and motivate me audience with this whole journey to be able to go further than that. Okay? So with these 4 coins, we shall arrange them like so. I want to be neat as I can about this, you know. And I know I've stressed it, but it's still so exciting for me when I'm able to do something of this nature or this type of effect, per se. And like so, believe it or not, I can just give it a wave. You actually get coins to start appearing like so. Okay? And when do you know when you are successful in magic? And that's usually when you start making money. I'm Dan, and hope you have a good one. So now we made it to part 5 of the money shot explosion routine. Either you have done this with the phasing, going from phase 1 to 5, or this is an individual phase. So we'll handle both situations accordingly. So to begin, let's say we have been doing phases 1 to 5 and this is an additive phase. We want to get the final part of the setup. So we still have the shelled coin with the shell and the coin in the back pocket with the other shell inside of there. Okay, and that also goes in the back pocket. Or I mean just the shell. My bad, just the shell. So shell, shelled coin. Shell with coin. I just say shelled coin. Okay, so we have that and we completed phase 4. Now if we are doing this per se not impromptu, but as a setup, let's say we're just doing this individual setup covering all situations, then in this case what we do is we start with all four coins on the table or in display, or when we bring them out will be shelled. In this case, let me get that one shelled. And then we would start with a $50 in classic palm position and then just go from there with the whole phasing. So if you're doing this individual phase, it's just a cool explosion and you just want to make the coins explode, then you just set them up and you're in position with that. And then since it's a total of 9 coins, you're all good. But for the situation where we're continuing off the explosion and doing it as individual phasing, let me continue that. That goes right there, and this, let me see. This goes right here. Okay, so 1, 3. Okay, so we start from the phase 4 where 2 coins are shelled and we place them right here, and 2 coins are not shelled, they're normal. Okay, we want to ring in the shelled coin and the $50 shell. How do we go about this? Okay, when we start from this position, we finish the routine, we end here. How do we do it, Danny? Okay, so we begin by saying, whoa, cool. So they saw it, whoa, amazing. And then you comment to them again, so it's like a continued callback. You would say to them, and I'm being careful while I sit for the shells, I know. I make it a continual thing because I don't, as I care about my things not getting damaged, I also want to make it a continual measure so no one else's get damaged. Continuing, I would usually mention to spectators, hey, I think I'm good. You know, normally, and I can take a step back if I want to. You know, normally I don't go any further. This is normally the finish. And in the past it was. Seeing that, and then you end, cool. Or pick the coins up, put them away, cool. And everyone was amazed. And that's honestly not an untrue statement. Usually that's where people stop. And you can relax again. Like before, hands go in the back pocket. And in this case, we finger palm the shelled coin in one hand. Okay? And we can also flip it, so need to be so that the coin side is up. We're going to be swapping this coin out for one on the table in a second, you'll see. And then the shell. Okay, so we go back, palm it. You know, normally I don't do this, but since you guys are motivating me, I'll try something else out. And you see, and you say, you've got to examine these before, check them all out. I pick up the 2 shelled coins as I do this, so I pick up those up first and display them. Second one, I'm going to do 2 things at once, okay? With this coin, I pick up the 3rd coin right here. I'm going to pick it up, and as I talk to spectators, I'm going to shell the coin right here. So that is the action for this coin, okay? So again, as I pick both coins up, with this hand, it's going to pull its coin in and shell it, okay? And that is the action for this one. Now on the other one, this one, the first coin, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to do a quick little switch that I've seen in many Michael Rubenstein DVDs, believe it or not, and a couple other DVDs. I think Mike Gallo goes into this and a couple other people, but it's just a basic little switch. You get this coin. I don't know if it's a Judah switch. I believe it's in the beginning, not in the beginning there were coins, in Modern Coin Magic by J.B. Bobo. Yes, the non-Dover version. So come in, clip that with the first finger and thumb, clip that coin, and then set it using your thumb. You can position it on the back and you can set it right on the table. And you effectively swapped out the coin because this right here is the shelled coin. Cool. So we're swapping out that regular coin, first finger and thumb, like so. So you just pick it on up so far. Goes into thumb clip. So first finger guides it right to the web of the thumb. Thumb clips it. And then you can set the coin, the switch out coin that was in finger palm on the table, and you can help guide it with the thumb clipping from the back. Boom. And if you're worried about it being shelled, you can even flip it over again, so you're good. Okay, so if you're worried about shell side up, oh, that's something odd. Why is there an outline? Okay, then in that case, after you set on the table, you can flip it over again, need be, and you're all good. Okay, and then from the thumb clip, you can easily let it relax and fall into finger palm. So you're not worried there. Okay, so when you combine both actions, okay, let me swap back. So these are 2 regular coins, 2 shell coins right here. We're going to focus on the 1 and 3, okay, from this point. But for the people around me and wanting to see this, I'm going to make it super special for everyone here, okay? And let me redo it. So I would, again, in slow motion, I'll do this in slow motion. Pick up both coins, one goes in the shell, and I can maybe do an upwards gesture, and I've swapped out this coin, I just set it on the table, okay? I need to flip it over in this case, okay? And I set them both on the table. Boom, everything is as it should be. Let the coin fall from thumb palm to finger palm, and all 4 coins are on the table. Again, one more time in slow motion. Okay. Boom. Pick it up. This one goes in. Just think into the shell. Thumb clip. And then we set it down. We don't want to avoid the click, so we don't let it slam down like that. But instead, we just like to do a simple set. Okay. I try to cover all contingencies. And so if these things pop up, we can address it so when it comes to your performance, it can look really, really nice. Okay? And now enough in slow motion and covering scenarios in normal motion. Okay? Let me set it up. Okay. So we're all set there. Okay, and you know, normally I don't go that far, but for you guys and me wanting to make a special little impression for everyone here, I'll make it a special exception today. Okay? And that's it. All the coins have been swapped in. So look, one coin with shell, 2 coin with shell, 3 coin with shell, 4 coin with shell. And also notice that the extra coin is in finger palm. You can switch it to classic palm. We're going to need it there for a bit to continue the routine. And we're all good. So we covered getting into it, which is like the hardest part for most people, and was also my thinking behind it, is if I can finally somehow get into it, and it was not possible normally. I had to shell 2 coins in the phase 4 and then shell 2 more in phase 5 to get to this point. But once you're here and it seems like everything's being examined and you're fair and you're doing crazy stuff, this is a great point to be. Super cool. And instead of having to have 3 coins on table where you're really restricted in Dean's version, though it looked really cool and the possibilities were really cool, I wanted to be able to have a more casual version where you could be able to do this, but without multi-layered systems or for shelling, if you know what I mean, for the original version. Not going too far into it. I just wanted to be able to do this. 9 coins, looks like a cool diamond. Because I really, really liked Dean's original idea on that. Super cool. So, again, 1 coin in classic. All the coins are shelled. And we set them up in this T formation. Okay, this is how I came to it. This is my own take on it. So this is really, really cool going forward. We can reposition if you say you have OCD, it makes it more logical, or you're just saying you want to make it perfect. So just some justification, because you do want to also make it look neat for the final display when you do it. And I'm just loosely playing with it, just getting a general idea for it. And when you're ready to go into it, okay, so still 1 coin classic one. We are going to mimic, do a miming motion like we did in, I believe, Phase Rush, okay? And when we're actually ready for it, we're going to steal off. So maybe we go here, like maybe feeling it, and we can do it right here. Actually in 2 motions. 1, 2, and on 2. Because if you want to be more direct, you could do it in 2 motions. So 1, 2 motions. Now we purse palm both the coins on left and right, okay? So we purse palm both of them, and then we cross hands. And once we cross hands, then we lay down the coins from purse palm, and then we slowly wave the hand as we come back. And we wanted them to be aligned on opposite sides, and it being in this quadrant right here, but neatly being in this quadrant. Because we're trying to make a whole diamond, and this is how the display came out, that you can do that, which looks really cool. So going back, okay, we go 1, we go 2. Okay, you can change the phasing if you want, but this is generally how it looks. So 1, 2, pick up the purse palm the shells, go cross-handed, just looks cool. Give it a little wave, and show 2 coins have come. You can do 1 readjustment right here. I do 1 readjustment right here. I do 1 readjustment right here of the middle coins, okay? You could also use it to intentionally make it look neater, which is nice. We come to the top and bottom coins. We purse palm that, okay? We cross hands again, and we make it about the same, along the same line of the first, second coins we dropped off, okay? And then we do another little wave. And we set down and we set line perfectly. Give it a wave. And then on the final wave, so it's coming across. Boom, looks cool. Coming together one last time. And then you're going to drop the classic palm coin right along the center. So, in action, if I may. So, make it right. Purse palm, okay, in this case. Come across right here. You could realign even up to the last second of your hands so you can make it look nice. Give it another little wave. Boom. And then come back again. So it's like you're going halfway. You're going to uncross, but you don't. So you go boom. And then you come back again. Lay the coin down. Let it drop from classic palm to the table right along the center, where you believe is center. And then come back again for 1 full wave. And then people could see a full diamond. So from here. It looks very, very ornate, nice, and it's 9 coins. 3, 6, 9, which is really, really nice in display. So let's go over it again. Okay, classic palm coin. We've done the setup, we've got it, and then we said, okay, we're going to align them just right. We align them in a cross formation. Then we can go 1, 2, purse palm, upper end, give it a little wave. You got 1. Readjust, like Dean Dill would do in his original explosion. I studied him decently well. 1, okay. 2, readjust along the center. Purse palm from here, okay. And take a moment if you really need to readjust. Okay, you can do it to music also as well. I offered that idea. Wave, show 2 more coins, but just don't fully unbound your hands. So you wave, come back, and then drop the last coin. Wave, and then you can show, like an open display, diamond. Booyah. So that is pretty amazing. Thank you, Dean, for inspiring this, you know, and everyone else who came before and everyone who has their own version. You know, it's just like if I could take a pause for a sec, it's like the ultimate epitome of your skill as a magician. I argue, some people will argue all day it's the cups and balls and different things. And you could say that as a basis of a working magician, sure. But if you were to say your limits as a performer and the ingenuity and everything, Explosion kind of takes the cake. And it's also why for people who choose to go that far and do a version of Explosion, just the idea of it, it only makes me respect the person even more. So, you know, for one of the very first people to do it, Dean Dill, amazing. Nathan Gibson, you're next in line. You're amazing as well. And, you know, I think Griffin did his own. And believe it or not, about 18, 19 years later, you know, here's my version. Or being in Magic 18 to 19 years so far, I think. 20? I'm losing track. But the idea is that we all want to contribute and showcase the full potential. And to do an explosion of some sort is cool. I try to, in this case, modernize it so that it could be really useful for everyone. That, you know, it wasn't restricted to $1,000 price tag. Maybe half that with 4 shells. But anyways, let's do one more practice. Enough daddling. Again, we'll do it again. These are my side notes before my final notes. So, okay, that was cool. Okay, I'm going to show you something cool. Give it a wave. And you could still come across, even if the coin falls in that case, which it did, and you can still do it a wave. And you can still get a good result. And that was a minor epic fail, so knowing that even in this scenario, you can be covered. So, but let's say it didn't go awry. Okay, it got the first 2. Give it a wave. Boom. Readjust. Readjust. Purse palm. Okay. Give another little wave. They all nearly separate. They come back together again. Drop the last one. Display. You got 9 coins. And dang, that looks amazing. I really think Explosion itself in its own concept is an amazing routine. And it's kind of why I wanted to have my own version. Though I just didn't like the method. I mean, I loved the whole thing, but I wanted it to be a little bit more commercial. And maybe in this way, maybe I inspire a better version. Maybe it's a different version. Maybe this inspires more magicians to do Explosion overall. I don't know. But I wanted to share this, and I think it's just a great, great thing to be able to do and to show what's possible in Magic with some ingenuity minus some knuckle busting that needs to be done. I want to reduce a little bit if I can while making the magic more magical for the performer, or just feel greater for the performer that they can focus on their audience a little bit more while they see a high impact effect all the same. Just my thoughts on it. Hope you enjoyed it. This is Explosion Phase 5. If you've been watching it from beginning to finish, hope you enjoyed it. There's a lot of unique bits in here that took many years to collect and bring it all together. There's a lot to learn and to enjoy, and I think it's just wonderful. Anyways, with that said, hoping everyone's having a wonderful day, and see you in the next one.